Meanwhile, Iranian-backed forces launched 2 drone strikes against U.S. troops in Iraq. The Islamic regime wants all U.S. forces to leave the region, and they're threatening to keep up the attacks until they get what they want. Chuck Holton brings us the details.
On December 9th, 2021, the U.S.-led combat mission in Iraq came to an official end after 6,850 days. That momentous occasion, however, did not equal a ticket home for the 2,500 U.S. troops still stationed in the country. Neither did it signal a change of mission for 900 troops currently serving in Syria.
I expect that we will continue to provide some limited support to the Iraqis going forward. But again, it's going to be essentially, by and large, it's going to be a non-combatant process.
Remaining forces will pivot to a slightly different role, one they call advise and assist. They'll be providing support to Iraqi forces in the effort to stamp out the enduring vestiges of ISIS, which was officially defeated in 2017, but is lately making a comeback. One neighbor clearly wants the U.S. out of the region.
Bill pursues a vision of ejecting us from the theater, and they see the principal battleground for that as being in Iraq. And I believe they are under the view that they can increase friction in Iraq to where we will leave, and that will not affect the nuclear negotiations that are underway. That's not a military issue. That's an issue for U.S. national leadership. But I think it's a dangerous position for the Iranians to maintain, because I think they're not going to be able to decouple those two things.
Iran's president recently called for former President Trump and his top advisors to be charged with the 2020 killing of Iranian General Qasem Soleimani.
The then President of America, which is the main aggressor, murderer, and a criminal, must be prosecuted and killed. A sentence of God must be executed against him.
During this massive memorial held in Tehran on the anniversary of Soleimani's death, American and Israeli flags were burned and the familiar chant of "Death to America" echoed through the streets. Adding to regional instability, popular mobilization forces backed by Iran had been threatening violence if the U.S. did not pull out by the end of 2021. Now they're making good on those threats. Since the beginning of the year, missiles have been fired at U.S. bases in the region on an almost daily basis. So far, no injuries have been reported, as the killer drones were brought down by counter-rocket, artillery, and mortar batteries, which can fire more than 4,000 rounds per minute. The U.S. is now striking back in retaliation, which shows the combat phase of this conflict might not be over after all. For CBN News, I'm Chuck Holton.
Alpha.